Waar zijn Harrogate?
Uwe arrogate.
Wo ist Harrogate?
Donde está? Arrogant. Or, you know.
Here, love, where's Harrogate?
Yeah. Where's arrogant?
I
I don't know what accent that was.
is lovely, but I don't know where Harrogate is. I don't know what that was
I don't
to
think
be.
anyone knew in 1982 either.
Harrogate, up the hook. Sorry.
Rude. Yes, we're in a Eurovision-y state of mind.
Yes.
Because of the album that I chose.
Yeah.
Last time, so because it's the ramp up to the Eurovision season.
No, it's still 6 months away.
You say that, but right now, look what's happening right now.
What Monty song?
Yes, that's the Montenegro
Montenegro,
national final. It's happening right now.
Godverdomme.
Well, I mean, yes, it is a bit early. I'll grant you that. But at least they can guarantee nobody else is doing a final on the same day. It's not like, everyone decides to do it on March the 3rd.
Right.
And it's like, which one do we watch? None of them.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Right.
So, hello, welcome
Yes.
to Albumble. This is your job.
Albumble.
Why am I doing it?
Albumble,
I'm Anne.
I'm not. I'm
Hold
not
on.
there. I am.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you are.
Oh, you caught me out.
Yes.
We reviewed the albums. We didn't review the first time round.
Yeah. When we're not getting distracted by the Euro song.
Yes. Well, it's Montenegro, so there's not really much distracting going on. Yes. So we had a bit of a different album this time.
We had
Various artists.
We had a compilation.
Yes. Of covers.
Yes.
And it's not even Mother's Day.
Mostly covers.
Yes, there were a couple of inadvertently new songs. Originals.
Yeah, yes.
And songs definitely
yes.
is in inverted commas.
Yeah. It's the I think this illustrates to me the problem I have with a lot of compilations, which is that if they're not put together particularly well, and to be honest, I think it's really difficult to put together a good compilation album, and I think it's always a balance of something that's good to get right, especially when you're doing one to tie in with a comedy show. And you're trying to balance that mix of comedy, quirk, and actual musicianship, while still having a running theme going through there. It's a very difficult thing to pull off.
Yes.
Yes. So the album is, I don't know if we actually said a song for Eurotrash.
Yeah, a song for Eurotrash.
Yes.
Eurotrash being the Channel 4
late night show.
Yes. That was Antoine de Caunes and the other bloke, Jean-Paul Gaultier. Plus, they usually had some European chums.
Yes. Or some woman with huge inflated breasts.
Oh, poor Lolo.
Ferrari.
Ferrari. And Eddie Valli. He would come on and do his song every week.
Yeah.
And, general smutty people.
Yes.
Porn stars a go-go.
I'll be honest, if you weren't alive then, you haven't missed a great deal. It was a product of its time.
Yeah. Because obviously you had, earlier in the 90s, if not the 80s, you had Rapido.
Yeah.
Which was the Antoine de Caunes thing, and then it turned into a kind of... it's the 90s and we're all sexed up.
And it was very all bawdy. And,
yes, it was very postcard humour kind of, but with a European twist.
Post-humour.
Yes, yeah. There are episodes on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sure there are, yeah.
Look, yes, it was very much of its time. They did bring it back when they had the Brexit vote. That went well.
So we can blame Antoine de Caunes.
Yeah, we can blame them.
Okay.
And those bloody Europeans coming over here taking our jobs.
Being on our television.
Yeah. Taking our sex.
I voted to get out of Eurovision.
Yes. Anyway, before we go into the album, do we have any other business artists from the past?
Dan's album's out next month.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, he's been doing lots of promo work.
Yes. Releasing lots of pictures that look like they'll be the cover of the album, and then putting in the post, these are not the cover of the album.
Yes.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to have a strong visual theme to it. So
it's got a slight. This is a very niche comment for anybody listening. It's got a very. I know the word is in the title, but it's very The Boy from Space.
Yeah.
Look and read. It's that very shiny, overexposed, rocky type.
It's also got
aesthetic.
a touch of Moby's album 18.
Yes. That
had all the very space aesthetic going on about it. But I think it's looking very promising, so we'll have that to look forward to.
Another thing I noticed the other day is obviously there's adverts aplenty at the moment because it's Christmas. I don't know whether you've noticed.
Is it Noddy?
It's the National Lottery have got a Christmas advert.
Right.
And it uses Valerie by the Zootons, not the one that we all know from Amy Winehouse and
Mark Ronson.
They actually use the Zootons version.
Okay.
Don't know why.
Is it
because it's got nothing to do with Christmas or lottery?
Give a lottery ticket to someone called Valerie, and she'll become a compulsive gambler and fritter away her cash.
Yeah, because how much is a thingy card these days?
Scratch cards.
Yeah.
Oh, they go up to £10.
Flipping heck.
Which I've got to be honest is a lot of money to piss away in one go.
Yeah.
When they first started out, do you know the first scratch cards that came out, the blue ones?
Yes.
And they were small. They were sort of about the size of half
Credit
a cassette
card.
inlay.
Yeah.
They were small things, and you go in there, they'd be £1. And the first run of them sold out in a couple of days. And then they had, here's the second one. Here's the green cards.
Yeah.
And now they've got banks of about a dozen of them in most lottery retailers. And, the biggest ones go for £10 now. There may even be ones more expensive than that.
Pardon me.
I don't tend to pay them a great deal of attention.
No.
But I only know that because one day somebody in front of the queue in the co-op bought one.
Yeah.
And, one of the big ones. It's £10, please. A tenner? A tenner? I'd almost drop my reduced bakery items in shock.
I do then wonder how much is the return if your stake is £10. The prize that you get must be substantial because there's no point.
There are million or multi-million pound ones, I think, and then there's also monthly income ones. As well,
yeah, I've seen those.
I've always thought is the much better prize.
Yeah. Also, obviously, stolen from the pioneers, which were
Billy and Wally,
BBC Radio Merseyside, where the woman won £1 million, which is £1 a year for 1,000,000 years.
Yeah. If the Lord spares me, Bill.
Yes, they started it first.
It was, but that was the first £1 million prize given away in British broadcasting.
It was. I mean, not all of it has actually been given away.
No, because it was only a few years ago.
But
wasn't it?
Only
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was only a couple of years ago. Right, should we get on with this track by track?
Let's
a song for Eurotrash.
Let's have a wade through this.
Yeah.
A song for Eurotrash opens, as is traditional, with track 1.
And also, for a TV tie-in, the theme tune
Yes.
to Eurotrash, which is Saint-Tropez by Brigitte Bardot.
Yeah.
The famous...
I'm not sure if she was playing all the instruments, though.
I hope she was.
Or whether she was just the conductor.
Yeah, she may well have been.
Yeah.
So it's I guess if you knew this song at the time, this was quite famous. Whether people actually realised this was actually a proper song off of a proper album. Well, I say proper. Obviously, there's apart from La La La's, which is quite Eurovision-y in its own way.
Yeah.
The instrumentation is doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Oh yes, it's a short 60s instrumental. I don't think there's a great deal else to say about
very
it.
60s, very Austin Powers-esque.
Yeah.
Very kind of light. I expect it to go Daisy, 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 Daisy at the end of it. You know, like that kind of flower power.
It just sort of has that light metropolitan sound to it, doesn't it? So
and nice and short as well. Yeah. It doesn't need much more than what's actually in the track.
So track 2 are indie pop sensation Kaniki with their cover of Brotherhood of Man's 1973 winner? 76 winner. Save All Your Kisses for Me.
So on the whole, this stays quite true to the original.
Yeah.
It's quite laid back. Obviously, Lauren Laverne's delivery is very light.
Yeah.
It's not like the Brotherhood of Man Peoples. They sing it out full. Her vocal tone's not really like that. It's I'd say it's slightly nonchalant. Yes. It's like Kisses for Me. It's like that kind of at the end of it. Although the harmonies in the chorus are quite nice. Yeah. It's quite light, quite frothy. The bit I didn't... can you guess which bit I didn't like?
Is it the end?
Well, the end was a bit indie kids, wasn't it? Yeah, let's be anarchic. Ugh.
But then I don't see any point in being anarchic in the last 2 seconds when you've had 3 1/4 minutes to be anarchic in, and all you've done is invent the genre of glam shoegaze.
The bit I didn't like was the spoken word part. Yeah. Because I did think she was going to go into... She's lying. It did give me Jimmy Nail vibes, and it wasn't really necessary. No. Especially when Lauren Laverne does actually have a half-decent singing voice. She didn't need to do that.
Now, having heard a couple of other Kaniki songs recently, it never had quite twigged with me quite how much... Lauren Laverne's speaking voice is very much the same as her singing voice. Yes. The two are audibly the same product.
There is a Geordiness. Well, is she a Geordie or is she Sunderland? I can never remember.
She's that neck of the woods.
It's very Tyne and Weir.
Yeah.
But it's not overly so.
No.
But it is very well... it's got good diction.
Yes, yeah. I'm not overly sure what I expected from this, but on listening to it, I can pretty much say I don't think it was what I was expecting.
No. They may well have been given this at short notice, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It has a sort of indie the indie Britpop party is over vibe to it, which is sort of why I said about glam shoegaze as a genre, because it feels as though they're trying to do a female voiced version of what Ride would have done if they were given this song to do. But I don't know. I mean,
it's fine.
It's broadly all right, but it's not very exciting.
No.
And It does fall into that sort of trap of being the indie band cliche, which, I mean, that sort of stuff has been going on for a long time. Of aren't I anarchic? Mummy told me I had to go to bed at 10 o'clock and it's 10:01 and I'm jumping up and down on my bed, and by 10:05 I'm in bed asleep. Yeah, which is no, broadly fine, but nothing earth shattering.
No.
Track 3, Dubstar and Distel with Poupée.
Yes, Poupée de cire, Poupée de sang. I do quite like the instrumental of this. The trippy, it does work.
It's very much of its time,
It
isn't
is
it?
very much of its time.
You can hear, big beats becoming a really big thing now. And do you know what? Trip hop's been a thing for a while as well. And that is going all the way through this.
Her vocals are quite produced.
Yes.
I don't want to say it's not vocodery. It's like not through a loudhailer, but it's like echoey.
It's a low pass filter, I think would be what. I may be wrong.
All right.
I quite often am.
And then obviously when Sacha Distel comes in, his isn't.
No.
So there's quite a nice contrast.
Yes.
However, when they then sing together, it sounds awful.
Oh, do you think?
I didn't like that.
Okay.
It felt too different, and I didn't really like the mix of it very much.
I quite liked the contrast of their two voices.
Well, I think separately.
Okay.
No, but not when they were doing it together.
No.
And I do think that it is a bit of a shame that there was only like a passing insert of Sacha Distel. I think they could have evened out the lines a bit, especially, and I don't mean this in a rude way, the pronunciation was not always perfect.
No.
But then again, they may have just thrown this together in a very, very short amount of time.
Yeah. I found the juxtaposition of this on the album, along with, we're going to say in a couple of tracks, Saint Etienne were on there as well. I think this is more Saint Etienne than Saint Etienne were.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think that Dubstar possibly punched above their weight in terms of winning the indie electronica with female vocals battle. I think there possibly was another version of this to be done that might have been a bit more interesting. Perhaps if they'd also done a more straight version of it without quite so much late 90s electronica sound, which has not aged particularly well. But yeah, overall I quite enjoyed that. Track 4, Edwyn Collins
with Ding a Dong.
It is, yeah.
This is very
Dutch.
Edwyn Collins.
Oh, isn't it just? Yeah.
In the 90s. Coming out of Girl Like You and the Magic... What was that one called? His follow-up. What was that called? The Magic something. No?
No.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to...
we're going to have to do some live Googling.
Which was in my... I should know this because I actually like that song better than I did A Girl Like You. I would say it was like a Magic Gnome, but it's not. That's like more like David Bowie.
Hold on, we will look it up. Yeah. Gorgeous George is the one I know as being the...
Oh, no, it's not that one. There was another one.
The follow-up to that. Hold on. Girl Like You, Low Expectations. If You Could Love Me, Make Me Feel Again, You're on Your Own.
Oh, I must have imagined something.
Hold on, there might be some more on here. You Don't Ever Listen to Me, Keep On Burning, I Hear a New World, The Magic Piper of Love.
Ah, that's it! The Magic Piper!
That was a good 3 years after.
Was it? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right. That's fine.
Yeah. So, yes, it was very much of his oeuvre.
Yes.
I think this song suited him as well in his delivery.
I would like it to be about 10 BPM faster.
Yes, it could have done with being a bit more of a bop.
Yeah. But on the plus side, Edwyn Collins sounds like... he doesn't sound like he's not having fun. But he does sound like he's taking this seriously.
Oh, yes.
And he's not just doing...
No.
Recording so, that'll do. And moving on.
No, I think he's actually put some oomph into this.
Yes.
I like the way he's got quite prominent bells in it, obviously with the ding-a-dong type thing. There's a lot of swooshing sounds.
Yes.
Which it's quite an interesting kind of motif in the background. There was a lot more, compared to the original, there was a lot more harmony in the vocals.
Yeah.
Which gave it a bit more oomph. And as I said, it felt very him.
Yes.
Kind of played into his strengths, as it were, at that time.
So, track 5 is the aforementioned St. Etienne with La La La.
Yes, another Eurovision winner.
Yes.
So, first of all, when this song starts, it's not 100% obvious what it's going to turn into.
No.
Because it's very not like the original.
No.
It did then start becoming quite pedestrian. It didn't really build up. It wafts.
It's very weightless.
Yes. Because like the original version, you've got like the slightly slow, well, they're not slower, slightly lighter verses, and then we have the oomph and bombast in the la 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 bit.
Yeah.
Whilst this seemed a bit more even.
Yes.
In its production. I also put a note that, considering that a few songs before we just had the La La La's of Saint-Tropez.
Yeah.
This then felt very
similar?
No.
Dissimilar.
This felt very lightweight.
Yeah.
And very empty. That's the word I'm looking for. Compared to what we've had before.
I do have a question.
Go on.
The verse lyrics in this.
Yes.
Are they a translation of the originals, or are they?
I don't think there is an English version.
Yeah.
But I think it's not a direct translation of the original Spanish lyrics.
So are these the English version that was done contemporaneously with the? Okay.
I think so. Because they are definitely the same in the chorus.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed the verses more than I did the chorus part of it. But again, it does feel like it wafts by and it never properly lands. No. Track 6 is Dean Martin's Volare. Do you have an explanation of why this is here?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I've literally written here, feels a bit odd having this song on at this point in the album. So the question I thought, so if they've stuck this in, who was supposed to be singing this song?
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm just maybe assuming that maybe they wanted somebody singing Volare.
Yeah.
So maybe they like Rene and Renato or something. Or
Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine.
Yes. I was thinking maybe they wanted somebody like a jazz crooner.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe they wanted Curtis Stigers.
Mike Flowers?
Exactly, that's what I've got written down
here.
Mike Flowers. Could you imagine Mike Flowers Pops doing this?
It'd be excellent.
It would be excellent. He was obviously busy at Birkenhead Town Hall.
Or perhaps there were clearance issues getting him.
Possibly. It's a classic. It's fine.
Yeah. No,
You
literally,
know,
the only thing I wrote about this was, does it come with an explanation of why it's here?
I don't know.
I don't think there's a great deal to add about it.
I mean, apart from there's a couple of songs later on that are new songs. This and obviously we've got the Eurotrash theme tune earlier. This is the only song which is actually just a song that's already been done and has been put on the album.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't know why.
Okay. Track 7 is... here's a depressing way of putting this.
Yes.
The late Terry Hall and the late Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, it's...
With all kinds of everything.
It's a rather poor construct.
Yeah.
Not poor, that sounds bad. It's a very unfortunate construct. So I think the thing I would have liked absolutely is for them to have sung together.
Right, okay.
Because a lot of it is your bit, my bit, your bit, my bit.
Yes.
There's no... I could imagine, like Terry doing the low bit and Sinead doing a bit of whispery harmonisation on the top.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have had something...
I do wonder
like that.
Whether they recorded their parts separately.
I guess they did.
And then it was stitched together in the studio.
Whether they had 2 or 3 or 4 different people doing this, and then they just put who sounded best together. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
It's quite gentle, wistful. It would be nice to know if there are 100% versions of this with just Terry Hall singing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or Sinead singing the whole thing. According to some sources that I've read, the whole reason for this album is down to Terry Hall. Because apparently Terry Hall and somebody else was interested in doing a cover version album of Eurovision songs.
Yeah.
And then I think possibly Eurotrash had a similar idea, and the two things collided.
Yeah.
Hence why he's on this album, and
okay.
maybe got a few mates in to do a few chores.
Yeah.
Although I do find it when Terry Hall goes, dances, romances, it's like, no.
I think you'll find, Terence, it's dances and romances.
Oh, dances, romances. Can't have it both ways.
It's a wonderful Midlands
yes.
Construct.
Yeah,
not construct. That's
quirk.
Yeah. It's the Midlands paradox,
yes.
whether it's dances or romances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Track 8 is Shane MacGowan and the Popes with What's Another Year.
So they switched this song up a little bit into a Viennese waltz.
Yes.
So it has the jump, 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 which then also turns it into a Irish drinking song, effectively.
Surely not. Shane MacGowan? He never touched a drop, did he?
No, not well. It certainly didn't touch a drop. He touched several drops. Let's be honest about this. Even for Shane MacGowan, this singing is appalling. Singing in inverted commas.
Look, I think you are forgetting that, to be honest, by the 90s, Shane MacGowan's singing in inverted commas was
questionable.
No, it was very much accepted that was how his voice is now, and that was how his mental state was to be able to deliver a vocal.
Yes.
I mean, the only thing I wrote is exactly what you'd expect from a Shane MacGowan cover of Johnny Logan.
Yes.
Because it is.
Yes.
It is exactly what you'd expect. Nobody who knows Shane MacGowan will listen to this and goes, I was really surprised by that.
Yes.
Because they won't be. But it's fine.
Yeah.
For what it is.
It certainly gives this song a very bitter and cynical edge.
Yeah.
Whilst Johnny Lowe is a lot more kind of slightly hopeful, slightly more wistful, whilst his is, what's another year?
Yeah.
She's left me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate.
I'm not surprised. I did right at the very end. He almost starts sounding like Dustin the Turkey.
God.
Yeah, you never see them together.
That's another year for someone who's lost everything, Johnny.
Vote for the poultry party.
Shall we move on to our Hungarian entry of the album, Eva Henger and Oh Yeah.
Ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah. Oh no.
Yes, exactly. So Eva Henger is quite the person. I don't think there's anything she hasn't done. Politician and porn star.
What, I mean, you make it sound.
No, yeah.
Like
I suppose in the 90s that was quite a thing. Nowadays,
had she made it to politician in the 90s?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's how she got into Eurotrash, because she'd gone from one thing to another. I mean, it's there's not really very much to this song, and considering that it's trying to be, or at least this is my opinion, trying to be quite Italo disco, it's not very Italo disco.
I'm not sure it's trying to be anything.
No.
The problem is that this was the sort of thing that Eurotrash liked doing quite a lot. And as somebody who was into a lot of European music in the 90s, this is the sort of thing that pissed me off.
Yeah, it's very much a piss take of European music. Oh, isn't Eurovision wacky?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And as somebody who was a fan of this during the time, this is the sort of thing that gave European dance music its utterly crap reputation that it held during the 90s. I think this is completely without any value whatsoever. I think it's shite.
See, this is one of the reasons I wanted this album on, is because
you get an opinion out of me.
Yeah. I would also say that I obviously she was on there because she was a bit of a Eurotrash favourite.
Yes.
Although I did put down here, was Sabrina not available?
Well,
or Alexia, was she not available?
Well, see, Alexia's actually quite is perfectly capable of delivering a tune.
Yes, or going a bit far, was Roller Girl not available? Although it was probably a bit early
you
for
mean
her.
Mrs. Christensen?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, I think
so.
Oh
my God, no!
Yeah, I'm sure.
God.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's go for our
my word.
second bit of live Googling.
You mean Eurovision's Alex Christiansen?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Roller Girl.
With her song. There's Alex Christiansen there, I saw that.
Yeah. She met producer and later husband Alex Christensen in Mallorca.
What a small world.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so we can
with her only album to date, Now I'm Singing and the Party Keeps on Rolling.
Oh, rolling.
Rolling.
Yeah. Pin.
No G.
No.
Steve.
So yeah, there's not really much to this ditty.
No.
Is there? It's if there was if the skip button on your CD
Walkman,
Walkman Discman wasn't working, then this would time to go and have a wee or make a tea and then come back.
Yes, I think we can stop talking about it now. Yeah. Let's go on to the Israeli entry.
Right, so it was Abani B from 1978
by Fox Force 5.
Never to be heard of again. So again, another trippy version with some very synthesized vocals.
Yeah.
Although I wanted the vocals to be a bit more clear in the verses. Because the way that the chorus runs, you don't really need to hear it all, because it is kind of a bit makey-uppy.
Yeah.
Whilst in the verses it needs to be a little bit more clearer. Possibly changing it up a little bit. It got a little bit samey.
It's got a key change. What more do you want?
Well, I mean more in the production rather than the actual song structure.
It's another piece of ultra lightweight big beat, isn't it?
Did Jem listen to this?
Jem.
You remember? Who are they? Where are they?
Oh.
Yeah, this kind of sounds like that kind of thing. Except that was way after this was.
There's an artist I haven't thought about since they were in the chart. I mean, it's not very interesting, but I think for what it is, it's perfectly fine. So the interesting thing that I've also found out about this act is that they appear to be a couple of sort of session musician type people who but they've got very few credits to their name, because normally with people who are involved in this sort of thing, you'll go through and you'll find, so even if it's production library stuff, that you'll find a collection of credits back to their name. There are a few, but not very many on this. So what the actor...
How did they get this gig then?
No idea.
Did no one else want to do it?
Unless they're people who worked for Rapido or something like that, or quite how it worked, I'm not sure. There are other entries on their pages on Discogs.
Okay.
The Fox Force 5 one is not helpful because I think there are several different acts who have used that as a placeholder name. I think there's a lot of things are being credited to the same people, which are possibly not
right,
not correct.
Okay.
But James Stratton and Jane Thomas have a few other credits to their name, but again, not very many. So it's very strange,
very bizarre.
Yeah,
because most of the people on here are known names.
Yes, or at least names that you can research and find out about. So I don't know whether...
Very odd.
Yeah. Or whether this was originally produced for somebody else and then...
Possibly.
Ended up not being done by them. Anyway, track 11...
Yes.
Is Edinburgh-based indie band Annie Christian.
Yes.
And their version of Congratulations.
Yes. Annie Christian, not a woman, unfortunately, called Annie Christian.
No.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
I think this is quite successful.
Yeah.
Apart from one thing. Which I will talk about. So I quite like the pared downness. It could have been 3 or 4 minutes of bombast.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I like the kind of piano-y bits.
Right, okay.
In the instrumental. I actually think this works almost as a bit of a bookend between this and Edwyn Collins.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Two, whether that's just because they're both Scottish.
Yeah.
Or, there's some kind of sensibility between this and that seem to work quite well.
Yeah.
My main concern with this song is that the end goes just on a little bit too long.
It has been stretched a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, they could have just done half as much and it would have been just as successful.
Yeah.
I think.
Now, quite interestingly, this band went on to release an album the following year.
Yeah.
They only did one album. But on the album, there's quite a lot of 1.5, 2 minute long songs. So they obviously weren't averse to making a quick get out sort of indie song. But to me it's textbook snarly nascent indie band sound, especially of that era, and possibly a few years before that as well. So there's nothing to particularly dislike, and it's all pretty much as expected.
I
think.
What actually happened to Annie Christian?
Well, as I said, they went on and did an album,
and then
but beyond that, I'm
go and have a look for them in your local library, stroke, civil service officers and civic centres.
Yeah, you see, you jest, but I'm pretty sure that's where you'll find most members of indie bands now. There'll probably be one member of the band who's still out gigging.
Oh, yes,
doing solo gigs.
Well done, you.
And the rest of them are working on...
Yes.
One of them's got a job on an oil rig now. So...
Not with Run Rig.
And if you get what that reference is from, well done you. Track 12 is Bananarama's cover of Wefelgem.
Yes.
Which is the more interesting song about a place in Belgium.
Yes. What did you think of this?
It's very Route 1 cheese, isn't it? Do you know something interesting about this?
Go on then.
This is produced by Steve Hillage of Dubstar.
Oh.
But
okay.
It's so...
Not.
No, it's so not their sound.
No.
That, yeah, obviously a very versatile gentleman.
Yes. The thing is about this is that in 1998, which was when this was made, Bananarama were not a thing.
Nope.
So they've obviously turned up.
And let's be honest about it, Bananarama hadn't been a thing for a good 6 or 7 years, had they?
No. They'd obviously got together to do this or to do get something,
get some of Bananarama.
Well, it was the original.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the two who were Bananarama plus Siobhan.
Yeah.
She actually came back, apparently, to do this.
Yeah.
But then she's done that several times. They had a reunion and then she buggered off again.
Yeah.
Didn't she? I've just literally written, no one asked for this.
But then again, that's how I feel every year when people are doing Eurovision warm-up stuff and ABBA get trotted out.
Yes.
I think I'm completely over this song.
Yes. And it's not even just... it's the... I've even put, is it actually them singing? Because there's some vocals on that and I'm going, I've never heard Bananarama sing like that. I'm not saying they can't. I don't even know if it's them.
No.
And it does. Do you remember? You do remember this. The backing track of this reminds me of "Let's Get Happy and Let's Be Gay." That dumba 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 dumba, which I think Siegel can kind of get away with, but not very many other people can.
Yeah, I mean, back in 1998, there might have been a bit more of a chance. Perhaps this was an attempt at creating British Schlager.
Possibly. I mean, Steps were literally round the corner. You can see
Bananarama doing a video for this up on the side of the Pennines, can't you? I suppose the equivalent of standing on a Bavarian mountain.
Yes.
Standing underneath Elmley Moor transmitter.
So no, we don't need this, do we?
808 states variations on tedium.
Yep, the Eurovision theme
is track 13. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised this doesn't get trotted out more often.
Okay.
Just because we have the bog standard ones, what's his name?
John Groves.
John Groves one, and we have like different types of ones. I'm actually surprised that this doesn't get as a sting, kind of, in between Eurovision-y bits.
Yeah. I thought it was a little bit breakbeat by numbers.
Yeah.
I also thought at some points, I don't know whether it was just my brain was not playing ball, it did feel as though it was just degenerating into a bit of a hot mess.
Yes, the beat does change around a fair bit, and you do have to be concentrated on what's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I've got a great deal more to say about that.
It was quite long as well.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think it needs to be quite that long.
No.
I wish they'd have had more of the clanginess of the start. the kind of slightly out of tune.
Yeah.
Glang, 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 glang. Something a bit more in kind of some kind of vignettes every so often coming back to the main theme. But it was quite interesting that they did something like that.
Yes.
Because, as I said, I don't remember that being used elsewhere.
No.
Whether
anybody else is aware of its existence.
Possibly, or whether they've kind of buried it and don't want to be reminded of it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Track 14 is Antoine de Caunes and Emily Atac's mum.
Yeah.
With A Song for Eurotrash.
Yes, Eurovision's Kate Robbins.
Yes, Eurovision's
Kate Robbins. She was in the band that came second.
Yeah.
Was it second or third in 1980?
Yeah.
Behind Johnny Logan's gig.
Yeah. Black vote. Shark vote.
This is, again, pure Eurotrash. Smutty, slightly subversive.
Yeah.
Jokes.
I think I found this the most entertaining thing on the album, because I think the cocking about on it is quite entertaining.
Yes. I mean, but I think they do it quite well because they're quite experienced at doing this.
Yes.
You know, Kate is a proper singer and comedian.
Yeah.
Who knows about comic timing and doing things, you know, being able to do something straight-laced and being able to have the right amount of piss taken out of it.
Yeah.
Things that I spread your love on my face.
Yeah.
Something about if you want world peace, don't wear underpants.
Yeah.
Or something. And the one time, two time gag, which really dates this as late 90s.
Yeah, but I quite enjoyed it.
It not at all predated Something to Suck On for Landing, Sir by Scooch, which then feels very old if you compare it to something like this.
You see, I think that felt hideously dated when it was
it was
offered up to get a smattering of points. Right, so I think that brings us to the end of our stroll through.
Yes.
So let's have some final thoughts.
So I guess this does beg the question, although the answer may now be utterly obvious, having reviewed this particular album. Why are there not more Eurovision cover albums?
I think that has a lot to do with the potential market for them.
Yep.
I'm not sure Eurovision fans are the sort of people who tend to go out and buy a lot of music.
No.
I don't know. I'm not convinced the market's there, and I'm also not sure that there are that many people who are going to know it. I mean, we've had this with some artist, sort of where people do all covers of the same artist on an album, and if people go for really obscure choices, then perhaps it wouldn't be much of a commercial viability.
Yes. So it makes you think, if there was to be a Eurovision covers album, what kind of people would be on it, should be on it, would you like to see on it? Because that list may well be mutually exclusive.
I've made a list.
Okay, go on.
So I'd like to hear Belgian band Customs doing Rock Stars by Malik Harris.
Oh. You know you said about going niche.
Yeah. I'd like to hear Spray doing Lavender. I'd like to hear The Bug Club doing My Lucky Day by Doredos. Because you know that would be fantastic.
Yes, that would be fun. That would be fun.
I want to hear Stand You Nick with 3 doing Blood and Glitter.
You might be, they're talented, maybe not that talented.
I want to hear Alison Goldfrapp doing Discotheque by The
Oh,
Root.
yes, she would definitely do that.
And finally, I want to hear Hamish Hawke doing Scott Fitzgerald's Go.
Yes, he would definitely do that.
He would.
He would definitely do that.
I mean, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch out of all of those I've come up with.
I unfortunately think that if there was a Eurovision album, it would go one of 3 ways.
Right.
What one would be they just get the same old gay Eurotrash.
Same old shit. Same old shit.
So they'd be steps on it. They get Bananarama out again.
Oh, great.
They would get... It would be frothy.
Yeah.
And it would be lightweight.
And it'd be obvious songs.
Very obvious.
Yeah.
Or it would go down the Drag Race.
Okay, yeah.
So, we get, here's Rise Like a Phoenix by Davina De Campo.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Lawrence Chaney singing Netto the Discount Pop Packs Toy. It would be that kind of...
Who's being Lindsay Dracus in all of this?
I don't know. What's her name? Veronica Green.
Okay.
She'd be able to do that. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, it would either be something like that, or what I think it probably should be is I would like it to go down kind of the route this album did.
Yeah.
But maybe some like lesser known indie people,
you
bit
mean
like
the route I chose.
Yeah, I'd want, Welly doing Leto Svet or something. Yeah, it's something that's the other. If they did do the frothy version, they'd probably want it to be kind of on isn't Eurovision wacky?
Yeah.
So they get Ignacio Lopez doing Baila El Chiqui Chiqui, or they get Henning Hatoiklib. It would be like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't really want to see.
No.
So I feel like it would be one of those.
Okay.
And that's probably why another Eurovision album shouldn't really be made.
Well, at least we've sorted that
yes,
out.
Please don't do Eurovision cover albums unless you're doing it with utter purpose.
No, okay.
We've right.
Right, okay. So I believe that leaves us with the further business of where we're going next.
Where we're going next.
Now, I will confess this is an album I bought a couple of months ago and I haven't actually listened to it properly yet. I've heard a couple of songs off it that have been played on the radio, but I haven't listened to it properly yet.
No.
And it's more an EP, I believe, than an album. So yeah, this only comes in just about the 20-minute mark.
Oh gosh.
Or perhaps just over. And it is Lagos, Paris, London by Yanis and the Yaw featuring Tony Allen.
Oh, that Tony Allen.
Yes.
No? Oh, right, okay.
Jazz drummer Tony Allen.
Yes, I know, yes.
And Yanis is Yanis
Greek?
out of Foals.
Oh, right, okay. Is he Greek? Or is he...
Just
Yanis screams Greek person.
Yanis Philippakis.
Oh, okay. Greek-ish. Or is he from...
Variations. Yanis from Foals. So
okay. So is this a solo-ish project?
Yes, I think it's been done as a slight diversion from doing the usual Foals stuff.
Okay.
Because Foals have been quite a productive band over the past decade.
Right.
And I think this is just Yanis doing something different that he wants to do and go in a slightly different direction. But from what I've heard so far, it sounds quite promising.
Okay.
So we'll have a listen to that and report back.
Yes, well, you can listen to that on... Is that on Spotify?
It's on Spotify, it's on CD, it's on vinyl,
Ooh.
it's available in all good record stores and a few crap ones as well.
Yes.
Probably not in W.H. Smith.
No.
But...
Andy's Records.
yeah.
Our price.
Yeah. And interestingly, the cheapest copy on Discogs is more expensive than what I paid for it. So, winner!
Right.
Yes. But, I think it's
Okay.
it sounds promising. So we'll have a listen to that.
Hopefully that wasn't too torturous for your ears today.
It had its... I think that's the first time doing one of these I've actually properly slagged something off.
Well, but I think, I don't want to say... I don't want it to turn into a love-in where we like everything. It is okay to have something where you're going, I'm not actually sure about this bit.
Yeah.
This bit doesn't work. Hence why I chose this album, because it was of varying quality.
Yeah, okay. And I think that is a very fair description of it. So we will see you next time.
Yes, go and find us on Albumble, on your podcast player of choice.
Do I go through the list of all the socials we're on now?
Yeah.
We are on lampposts.
Yes.
We are on a card in the newsagent's window.
Yeah.
We are...
Phone boxes.
We are in phone boxes on the Kilburn High Road.
Especially Mercury ones.
Especially Mercury ones. We are in any shop which does rabbit phones.
Oh, rabbit phones. Oh.
We are under manhole covers.
Yeah.
We are attached to gateposts in rural areas.
We can also be found on your street corner.
Yeah.
Underneath, giving out bits of paper.
Yeah. And I can be found mainly being disappointed that towns in the South Cotswolds were not flooded today. So,
well, I mean, we don't want anywhere flooded, but it's just that if you don't want to do much work.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That'll. I think that's enough of that. So
we will see you on the first. This will be the next episode will be. This is. Where
do you want to take a run up at this?
No, I've lost
Currently
all chronology.
Do you want
this will be the 1st of December. So the next episode will be out on the 16th of December, which will be our end of year.
We're doing an end of year roundup.
No, but I'm just saying this next one will be the last one of 2024.
Are we going to be recording one of these on Christmas Day?
No, I'm hoping not.
Very much half cut.
No. And just make sure you all vote for the ESC 250.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Songfestival.be.
Yeah, just...
And
you only need to like 10 songs.
Yeah.
And as we've done 11 that you could vote for. Yeah. So just choose those.
There was live maths going on there.
And plus Europapa.
Yeah.
And Carrier and
James
Newman.
James Newman, yeah.
And other people.
Yeah, Keith Harrison Orville.
Yeah.
That's the one I voted for. Right.
Right, we will see you very, very soon.
Bye.
Bye.